Wine in the scriptures sometimes has a deeper spiritual meaning. It's more than just a drink. It's always meant the fullness of hope, joy, and peace. And so when Our Lady today in the Gospel says to the Lord Jesus, "They have run out of wine," her words have a very deep symbolic meaning. Of course, at a very basic level, she is talking about the situation that they find themselves in. They're at the wedding feast of Cana, and the wedding party has run out of wine. So she goes to the one who she knows will help, the one who she knows is all-powerful, her son, to ask him to help her friends in this very embarrassing situation that they find themselves in as hosts of a party. But when she says to him they have run out of wine, she's also talking about the people of Israel at large. Because as I mentioned, for them, wine has always had a very symbolic meaning: hope, joy, and peace. When she says they have run out of wine, she's probably speaking about their loss of hope, their loss of joy and peace, for many reasons. For one, the Roman occupation of Israel. Perhaps many of the people had lost their peace because of this occurrence. Also, the people of Israel have been waiting a very long time for the Messiah, and perhaps they have lost their hope that he will ever come. And these and many other reasons that the people may have lost that sense of peace and joy in their hearts. This is why it is very significant that for his first public miracle, Jesus brings an abundance of wine. Why is it significant? Many of the prophets prophesied that when the Messiah would come, he would bring with him an abundance of wine. The prophet Joel, for example, says that at the arrival of the Messiah, even the mountains themselves will drip with sweet wine. So not only is Jesus helping out the wedding party by providing the wine, he is also indicating who he is, the Messiah, the Christ, the anointed one of God. But for us today, living in the 21st century, these words have a lot of significance for us too. Perhaps they can apply to us as well. They have no more wine. Our world has gone through a very difficult few years. And for this and for many other reasons, personally, as a community, we may have lost our hope, our joy, and our peace. But the good news of the gospel is that the Messiah comes. Jesus comes to restore these very things. Saint Therese of Lisieux said that joy is not to be found in anything exterior, but it is to be found deep within our souls. And the only one who can restore the peace and joy, the fullness of it in our souls, is the Messiah, Jesus Christ. So brothers and sisters, the next time we are tempted to cure that restlessness within our hearts by grasping for joy, grasping for happiness in any one of the million ways that our world tries to sell it to us, how about we try instead going to Christ, filling ourselves with more of his presence, which we can find in the Blessed Sacrament, in prayer. We can even go to Our Lady, for she also is a source of joy for us. We can pray her rosary. How about we try that the next time we are tempted to fill the void within us, the loss of hope and joy, with something else? Go to Christ. Go to Our Lady. And the gospel concludes with even better news for us, that the wine that Jesus provides is the best that the steward in the story has ever tasted. He says to the Lord, "You have saved the best wine for last." And this is good news for us, that the joy that Christ brings is not second-rate joy. It's not worse than the other things that the world provides for us. It is better, and he provides in our souls the fullness of joy, the fullness of peace, and the fullness of hope.